morning, everybody. Hello. Happy Education Day. Who is excited to learn some fun nail techniques? I am so excited to share with all of you some Lexy line techniques, some French techniques, how I prep some things. There is going to be a lot of cool stuff going on today. Good morning, everybody. Hello. Happy Eclipse Day. I can see kind of some of it from where I am in Wisconsin, but, you know, those of you who can't see it, I'm a little jealous. So, good morning, everybody. Hello. I'll give everybody a couple minutes to file on in here before we get diving into all the good stuff. Good morning, Elaine. Hello. Happy Monday. Happy LE Day. I am so excited for this education event. There's so much cool stuff. There is beautiful products that we're going to be featuring today. So it's going to be a great time. So while we wait for a couple people to pop on in here, I would love to know what your favorite color or glitter gel is from the new Happy Vibes collection, which is really hard. Honestly, I don't think I could pick. I love that they're all neons. And can we just say that they're all neons? They are bright, they are pigmented, and they are absolutely stunning. So, yes. My favorite probably is Groovy Green. I love that green. I'm pretty sure my clients are tired of me trying to put all of the neon colors on there. Yes, this live will be saved. Everything will be saved so you can watch later. And for those of you who are live now and watch the whole thing or do end up watching it later, there will be a special discount code at the end for those of you who have never purchased with Light Elegance before to get a little bit of an extra discount, which is exciting because that means you can get even more goodies and try more things. So, yay, it should be lots of fun. Good morning from Norway. Hello. Well, it's actually probably good afternoon over there. Hello, everybody. So, I was on my Instagram and I had a poll trying to decide what color I was going to use today for my elongated French. I have done Far Out. I have done Love Bug. I have not done Trippy. So I was actually stuck between the two. Oh, well, thank you. I think I might do Trippy for my French today. I haven't decided. Or, if you haven't seen my Instagram post for today, I did an ombre of Love Bug and Trippy. And it's so pretty. So I might do that. We'll have to see how much time we have today. I've never shown my natural nails before. So this is going to be really exciting. Good morning, HQ. It's great to see you. Wow. Who's excited? Who has purchased the Happy Vibes collection? And if you haven't yet, is it because you can't decide on which formula? Because honestly, P+ is really, really great. And so is the ButterCream formula. But honestly, we could do either one. I have both. I needed both because I needed P+ for my toes. And it is so bright. It's amazing. I actually got a package right before I started from HQ that I will have to record and open later. Because talk about timing for that coming up. Good morning. Ooh, good morning from Texas. Hey, we're in the same time zone. So it's like mid-morning there. Yes, hello everybody. So, I am going to, without further ado, I'm going to flip you all around. And we are going to get started because there is a lot to cover. And it should be really great. And I don't want to miss anything. So those of you who have questions, please ask questions. If I don't answer the questions, there are other educators and people in the chat who can help answer your questions. If you have something that is more in-depth and you want more detail, or you try any of the techniques today and you want some extra one-on-one help, please feel free to message me on my Instagram. It is at Hope Young Nails, and I will be more than happy to help you with whatever you need. So, without further ado, I'm going to spin you guys around, and we can get started. So, fasten your seatbelts as I scoot y'all around. Alright. Ooh, psychedelic, yes! I love that yellow. It's such a good yellow. Okay, so, happy vibes! These are the two that I was considering for today's French. Love Bug and Trippy, and they're just absolutely stunning. So, what we are going to be doing today is we are going to be doing this elongated French look and also building a nail and doing some structure. As you can see, my natural nail, she's a little sad. She's flat. You know, it doesn't have a lot going on, so we are going to plump her up, give her some structure, and make her all happy. So, let me glove up here. Those of you who saw my Instagram stories know how I feel about this. Hey! There we go! So as you can see, I have a teeny bit left of my previous set, but yeah. So those of you who are curious, my natural nails, I don't really have a lot of lifting, but my pointer finger, you can even kind of see it a little bit. It does that bird beak where it kind of just goes boop. So there is a lot of the time I have to cut that off and rebuild my nail, but for today, I'm going to kind of show you how to kind of fix that with building your structure as well. So my nail is all prepped and ready to go. I'm going to take my lint-free wipe, and I'm going to use some cleanser, and we are going to get the party started. So I always make sure to thoroughly cleanse my nail before doing any kind of application. If I am doing a full set on a client, I will honestly do one hand at a time, because any of those natural oils can slowly build back up as you're working on one hand. So you want to make sure you scrub it on in there. Do I wear as... No, actually, I pretty rarely take my extension this low to the base. So I usually just have a nice hard gel structure to all my nails. So for today's elongated French, and this is extremely important, I'm going to be using my little 10 ml of the Ideal Pink Extreme. Who's excited that we have this in this formula? I am super excited. So the importance to the elongated French is that we need to cover that natural nail. We need to hide that natural smile line and have a fully covered base, so you can have that illusion of an elongated French. I broke my middle finger the other day, and I used natural fiber to build the extension and then put this over it, and you could still see that natural fiber underneath it. So if you're going to do this look, you either need to do it over as an overlay, or you need to build your extension with a pink, or even a clear. You can get away with a clear. I've done that too. So, I am a big fan of Tack. I'm a Tack girl. I will tack everything because it is tacky, and that is the best thing ever. When prepping your nail, you kind of etch the natural nail and turn it into essentially a little bit of a Velcro situation, where your natural nail layers kind of flick up a little bit. So what we want to do with this tack is we want to scrub it on in there to get into all those little lifted up pieces to make our Velcro situation even stickier. Now, if I was doing a fill, I would just be putting it mainly in this cuticle area. But since I am doing a full nail, I am going to do the whole thing. And you also want to make sure you kind of get those edges, because cap those edges. Alright, so I'm going to take that tack and cure it for 30 seconds. Remember, tack, a little bit goes a long, long way. Yes, all of these videos will be saved so you can watch later. And I highly recommend watching them again because there are little things that you will probably miss that you probably didn't see the first time. So I always recommend rewatching as many times as you can. So for today's brush of choice, I am a big fan of the number 6 Kolinsky Brush for at least my nail shape. My nail beds are they are kind of tiny. You know, they don't really look tiny right now because they are all long, but my natural nails are very tiny. But if I'm doing a client who has a larger nail bed, I am more likely to use the gel polish bling brush because the brush on that is bigger and it's easier to get that application. So, Ideal Pink Extreme. Extreme consistency is, you can see it is thicker. Like you can pull it. She's not really moving. So, what I want to do is just take a teeny little bit and I'm going to make a slip layer because gel follows gel and having that slip layer makes all the difference. So I'm going to make sure that every inch of this nail is covered. So when I am going and building my structure, I know that every part of the nail has been touched by gel and I will not have to worry about missing anything because it has already been there. And this layer I will not cure, but this is another reason why I like this brush because you can see the way that this brush kind of like fans open and you can get all the way in those little corners. It's so satisfying. Alright, you want to make sure you also always cap your edges. We will be shaping them in the end, but you always want to make sure you get every single part of that nail covered. And you can see I didn't add anything to it really. It's still nice and thin and ready to go. So I am a firm believer that it's easier to add more than it is to take away when building a nail. Too many times I have myself thinking, oh, I need this giant dollop of gel, and I end up having too much. So I always start with a nice little pad right there. And I'm going to take that dollop and I am going to place the edge of my brush and I am going to roll her off while still staying connected here. So I am going to take the tip of my brush and I'm not going to push. I know not a lot of people are a fan of the term floating, but I'm going to keep my brush connected and I'm going to kind of gently bounce the product. You don't want to agitate it too much because you don't want to add any extra air bubbles. But I am again just kind of going around, making sure that it's going to flow kind of in the spot that I want while keeping all of that in the middle. I am also a firm believer in letting gravity do as much work as you can because why work harder when you can work smarter? So while keeping my tip of my brush in there, I'm just kind of gently going to do a little bit of a U motion and slowly work my way down the tip here. Yes, Ideal Pink Extreme is probably one of my favorite colors. If I'm not doing Ideal Pink, I'm doing Baby Pink. So I have a little bit of a softer base, but I love both. And you can even see right there, you can see that my natural nail tip is completely gone. You can't see it anymore, which is exactly what we want for this look. So I'm just going to keep on doing that U motion, working my way all the way down to that free edge. And if you need more product, I will wait until I've kind of worked all the way down to that edge, and I will reevaluate and see how much more do I actually need after letting gravity do its thing. So I'm going to take that little bit. I'm just going to take that edge. Okay, so this is what we have structure-wise so far. I need a little bit more right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my nail upside down, and I'm going to let gravity kind of pull any product that has kind of self-leveled too far maybe into the corners, and I'm going to see if I actually need to add any more. Let's see. I'm going to need to add a little bit more, but this makes it a good learning experience. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just kind of go over my edges here and make sure that that gel has gone all the way down here. And then I will add another little dollop. So I'm going to go in here. I'm just going to take like that much, just a little bit, maybe a touch more. Kind of flick off her tail a little bit. There. Well, yeah, probably about there. See, even with it self-leveling, you can kind of see a little bit more. It's just that teeniest little spot right there. So I'm going to take my dollop, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of roll it off into that spot that I want, and kind of break it. So now I have that little dollop right there, and it's already disappearing. You can even see it kind of just melting it away. That's what I love about this gel. It literally does all the work for you, and it's not too bad. So it's always important too to look down the barrel to kind of see where you can see it's a little heavy on one side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip her upside down. I'm going to let her do the work, make it nice and easy for myself. Ooh. Look at that. Ooh, that's very nice. I'm going to do just a little bit more. It's a little difficult to kind of show off this angle. But does anybody have any questions? What color is recommended for French bait for intro? Very pale. So my ghost, a lot of my clients know how pale I am. I have taken on the joke that I am literally Beetlejuice and I'm the ghostess with the mostest. So that tells you how pale I am. This is a really nice one to do. I am using the new Ideal Pink Extreme. If you want to have that coverage for the base, you can use the Ideal Pink Extreme very thin, and then you can add the Baby Pink Extreme or something on top of it to soften it. I think I'm kind of happy with that. Always make sure you follow your lights so you can see if there's any divots in there. And I don't see any divots. I don't see any misshapening that I don't like in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cure this, and it's on a natural nail, so I might take it in and out a couple times because it gets a little warm. It's not super warm, but it's just everybody knows how it is putting on a fresh nail. It's not the most comfortable thing sometimes. Perfect. So even after we finish file, and you still feel like your structure isn't kind of where you want it to be, gel always sticks to gel. Just make sure you fully cleanse the nail to make sure there is no dust to interrupt that adhesion. And you can do your slips layer and build it all up. Okay, so we have our nail here. I am going to take my cleanser and get rid of that tacky layer. It's important to wipe your tacky layer downward because we don't want to have any of those loose, uncured molecules getting into the skin and causing any unnecessary allergies. And woo, look how shiny that is. I absolutely love that. So my preferred file depends on the day. Today, it's going to be the Perfect 100-180. And the most important thing about finish filing is having a filing schedule. The filing schedule is probably the most important thing. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that our edges are nice and straight before we do any filing. And also a very important thing about filing any of the tapered nail shapes is you don't want to take your file and pull. Because if you're pulling, you're going to get rid of that nice sharp free edge that you created. So I always go downwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my more abrasive side and I am going to go downwards along that edge. Because by going downwards, you're also keeping the integrity of your apex and you're keeping the integrity of that nice sharp point. I am then going to go along the cuticle line. Always pull away. Make sure you're trying to use the whole file. It will make pulling like this way easier going along that cuticle line. Whenever I'm doing a full set on the client, I don't clip their cuticles until the end because I don't want to have any raw or sensitive skin there. So since I'm doing this on myself, on this side, it's hard for me to pull down, so I like to pull up. An upward motion, it's the same thing, it's just a different direction. So then we have just that center section left to take care of, while still keeping our shape integrity. So for this part, for the center part, I usually flip to my softer side. So then this way I'm going in a downward motion to keep that apex there while keeping our tip nice and arched like this. And also using the softer side is prepping for when I use the foamy to slowly work out all of those etched lines from the more abrasive file. So when I'm getting closer to that fine-tune edge, I am more likely to kind of shape a little downward because I like mine fairly pointy. So I am not going to move in a fast motion. I'm going to move very slow because I don't want to remove a lot. I'm just fine-tuning that. And then again, we want to make sure that we're nice and straight all across. Since my nails, again, do that kind of duck, kind of like bird claw and go boop. It's really important to make sure that we stay nice and even and flat with the file so we're good all around. So I think that's pretty great. We got a nice sharp point there. Everything looks pretty even. So I have a joke with my clients that all of them start off with an oval or round and then it slowly gets like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my foamy, and I always start with the more abrasive side and then move to the smaller side. And again, you don't want to hit that tip at all. You want to kind of go around it. And this is to smooth it out so when we're doing that French, we don't have to worry about any weird edge lines. We want to make this as smooth as possible, so as easy as possible for you to do. So I'm going to flip. And we're going to continue to buff. We're nice and smooth. And you can see how nice and smooth that is. Beautiful. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to take my lymph-free wipe and cleanser. I'm going to scrub it. And you can even see here, you can see how smooth that is. And that's exactly what you want to look for. that it almost looks like you just did the structure and it's matte. That's the ideal look for that. And then we have just a little bit of an apex while keeping it nice and straight. All right. So what would you guys like to see? Do you want to see Love Bug? Do you want to see Trippy? Or do you want me to do an ombre of the two? Instagram wanted Trippy, and it's the one I have not done yet. I have done Love Bug before, but I honestly love them both, so I'm going to make you guys decide for me, because I can't decide. But they're both absolutely stunning. For doing this French ombre, yeah, the ombre is really nice. So for doing this French, you will need 3 things depending on how confident you are in your French skills. I know a lot of people have issues with the Smile Line brush, so I am definitely going to show off how to use this, because once you master the Smile Line brush, everything is so much easier. You also wanted to use your block brush. Having that nice little flat edge is good to fill in spaces. And then I love my Stripy. Y'all want to know how many of these I have in my drawer? I easily probably have 20 of these in my drawer. Because I use them so much. They are my favorite. They are skinny. They've got good flexibility. They are absolutely amazing. Well, it looks like ombre is winning. And I'm not surprised, because it is beautiful. So, I have my Love Bug. And I have my Trippy here. As you can see, similar color tones like this are really great for ombre, because it makes that blending center nice and easy. So what I'm going to do, so when you're doing an elongated French, the whole point is to bring, my natural smile line is here. The whole point is to bring it down, to give it that lengthening of the nail bed. It's the best way to describe it. So I am going to start by taking my Stripy brush, and I'm just gonna dunk her on in there. So then we just have, that is all you're gonna need, and that's all you're gonna want to start with. Especially if you're using the ButterCreams, a little goes a long way. So I'm going to estimate here. And I can always add more, and I can always take it away. Never be afraid of having too much. So my natural nail smile line, I think, is about right here. Yeah, so I'm going to go right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that tip and kind of pull it way up into the corner. So that's how far up we're going to go right there. So from that edge, I'm going to take the tip and pull it down along that free edge to kind of slowly map things out. Yeah, Love Bug is literally probably my... I am not a pink girly, and everybody knows that, but this pink is changing me to be more of a pink person. It's so nice. And it has that perfect amount of purple in there, so it's not overwhelming. So, depending on how much product you initially put on there, I have literally taken my little Stripy brush and just filled in that little bit of the French. Nice and simple. The best way to see if you like it is taking it from this edge, and you can see how nice that smile line is right there. I'll be able to show it easier on the other side. But that's the that's the size that we're gonna go for. So on my desk I have my big free wipes. The big wipes. And I'm going to do the same thing with Trippy. I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to dunk her in there. Let's see. Probably about there. And I'm going to do the same thing. You can try the Come On Over kit if there is some there. I love the Come On Over kit. They have all the good stuff to try out some things. And don't forget, I will have a discount code at the end of this to help you save a little bit so you can buy even more goodies for those of you who have not purchased with Light Elegance before. So what I'm going to do is I am going to kind of follow that line and just kind of make that little smile line right there. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to connect it to this corner right here and just pull it to meet them up. So we have a nice deep line. There, this is easier to see. You can see how that line there has that natural swoop to it. So it's not really straight, it just really follows that structure of the nail, which is just so satisfying to see. So I'm going to take what's left of my brush here and gently just pull it down. Since we're working with the ButterCreams, they are highly pigmented, they are super easy to work with. A little goes a long, long way. And I feel like they are perfect for this type of French technique. So what I am going to do here is we have our two happy colors here just waiting to be melted together. So I'm going to just kind of pull in between the two. And if I feel like I need to add a little bit more pink, if I need to kind of blend them together a little bit, I am literally just going to drag what I have on my brush through and melt them together. Go from the edge. If I feel like I need to do a little bit more, I can go back and forth. I am barely letting the brush touch the product. You can see it's just gently flooping and dragging through it. Now I did get a little spot. You see it right there? So I'm going to show you how I use my Smile Line brush to clean that up. So you can have a nice, crispy, clean French. But you can see from the side how that structure mirrors and supports that deeper French on both sides. It is an absolutely stunning look. I didn't know that this type of French had a name until recently, because I always, since with tapered nail shapes, this is the best way to do that. So I have the Smile Line brush. I think I've been told so many times, Hope, how do I use the Smile Line brush? Well, first important thing about Smile Line brush is to make sure that your brush is clean. You do not want to get any other color. You don't want to get anything on that brush, because you don't want that on your nail after you just spent all that time creating that beautiful French. So my brush is nice and clean. I usually like to pinch my brush. I use my glove and just kind of pinch it so then that edge is nice and sharp and tight. If you feel like your brush is dry, I highly recommend taking a little bit of your QD base and dragging your brush through it and kind of gently clean it off, so then you have a more smooth pull to it. So I'm going to take the butt of my brush, that nice end there, and I'm going to put it where I want that to be, and I'm just gonna gently boop, and it's gone, just like that. If I needed to clean up any edges, like I kind of do on this side, I'm just gonna take that corner and just really, really softly pull it. So then that edge is nice and crispy. When you're doing a French and you feel like your smile line isn't where you want it to be, I always take it, and you can see the way that that brush kind of flattens out a little bit. Yes, you do have to say boop. Everybody knows that I'm a very much a sound effects person. So my clients are like, oh, she's making noises again. And go and boop and swoop. It makes that so much more fun. Yes, Smile Line Brush. It's probably the one brush that I feel like people never look at, but it is such a key element into your nail box. So whenever you have a smile line and you're not sure, you don't like it the way you want it, you kind of want to take the edge of your brush so it kind of fans out nice like this, and you want to pull that edge, and when you pull it, you'll see that your brush kind of moves, or you can take it and kind of do it this way to kind of clean things up too. So you've got two different ways that you can use that smile line brush. See, I got rid of a little corner right there. If you don't have the Stripy brush, it is your best friend. Those of you know that I love my nail art, and it is my favorite detail brush. I will do full designs with just one brush. Probably not good for my eyes, but it's still absolutely beautiful. And you can see how that French didn't add any bulk to that tip, so when we top coat, it's going to be nice and smooth. So I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds. So I want to know who has played with the Happy Vibes collection, because it is absolutely my favorite thing in the world. And I think, like I said before, I think my clients are tired of me sneaking in neon into all of their nails. I have been using it as the center of flowers. I have been using it as accent lines. I have been using it for literally everything. And honestly, the art style that Taryn did, these are absolutely gorgeous. The pinks were super, super popular for Valentine's Day, and they're just going to be, if you don't use these all around, like the green, I've had so many people tell me to do Beetlejuice themed nails with the green now, and I'm like, yes, yes, yeah, Jackie, I've used that one on you, and it is so pretty. I actually used that for a couple of Valentine's Day sets, and I snuck it out there because I had stuff on top of it, so you couldn't fully see what was underneath it. So, we are going to finish with the top coats of all top coats, super shiny. Though, if you haven't played with the P Plus top coat, that might be a little shinier even. But because of this, I want to keep it consistent and keep everything in that hard gel consistency. I am going to use the super shiny. I honestly love both. I grab both. I don't want to play favorites, but you know, I gotta love them all both. So I'm going to take, if you haven't played with the super shiny before, the brush is your best friend. You see how it has that beautiful curve to hug that cuticle so you can get that all the way up there and everything is fully coated and shiny. So I'm going to take a little bit. I'm going to start here and kind of push up a little bit to get closer to that cuticle area. Going to pull down to the edge and just smooth her out. And it is so satisfying to add top coat to a French nail. Those of you who know or follow my Instagram regularly, it's just at Hope Young Nails. I am a matte girly. I never wear shiny because I hand file so much that I scuff up my nails all the time. So the fact that I've worn shiny for a couple weeks now is really something. So we are all top coated here. That I am going to, remember, you always want to follow your light line. So if you feel like I got a little, right there, you see that little wave? Don't be afraid to kind of go back in there and pull it. and let it resettle. And if you still feel like it's kind of there, you can take a little bit of the top coat. And I have actually kind of just tapped it and just pulled up just a little bit to kind of make sure that we all stay nice and smooth. When I do that, sometimes I will even turn it upside down to kind of pull it all in. Those of you who end up trying this or loving this technique, please tag me in it. Please let me know if you have any questions, because I want to see all of your beautiful work. I want to share all of your beautiful work because, you know, in the nail community, we all need to stick together and share. Make sure you post it in the hashtag #NewToLE Facebook group so everybody can see it there. And you can see how shiny that is. Okay, I'm going to put that in 60-second cure. So, since we are finishing up here, I am excited to offer you my discount code. Yes, so I regularly have a discount code. That is just my name, Hope15. That is 50% off your first purchase with Light Elegance. But today, it is a special offer where it is 20% off. Yes, your first purchase with Light Elegance, which means you can buy even more goodies, which is exciting. I will be posting on my Instagram stories the list of all the products I have used today, so then you can keep track of it. You can screenshot that, so you can have that next to you when you go back and rewatch this video. And again, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, if you have concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. I love helping whenever I can. If you have color suggestions, drop it out. If you're just struggling and you need a little help, the code's offered. Oh, the code's available for everybody? Oh, y'all can save 20%. Ooh, that's exciting. See? All right, so that is fully cured. I am going to take my cleanser. You want to know how many cleansing wipes I have next to me? I made a nice little stack of like 6. All right, so you want to wait for that squeak? That's how you know it's going to be super shiny. It is beautiful. So what do you all think of that? Nice elongated French with some structure. The code is still Hope15, but everybody can save 20%, which is awesome. So I would love to see you guys try this with different colors. And if you have any questions about structure, I'm going to take off my glove so I can show you. So that's the happy little family that we have going on here. We have far out. So here it is on a bigger scale. I did what I did here. I did it here too. So you can see how everything is blended together. You can't see that natural smile line at all. So here is a good example. Here I use that natural fiber to extend that nail bed, and you can still see that whisper of white right here. So, and you can see the difference, how this is done with full Ideal Pink Extreme, and this was Ideal Pink Extreme with me extending the nail with natural fiber. So make sure, if you're doing this kind of look, to, like I said, do it over a full nail overlay, or if you're extending the nail, make sure you're extending it with one of the pinks or a clear, because then you will not see what you use underneath. That's a really cute French ombre look. So I use the new Ideal Pink Extreme, which, have you guys seen how cute these 10 mLs are? I have a minute. So, okay, so I have the 10 ml of the Cool Gel. I have the 30 ml of the Cool Gel, and I have the 50 ml of the Cool Gel. I don't have the refill of it, but we have a little bit of size for everybody. So if you don't want to have a full big thing of Ideal Pink Extreme because you're not sure you're going to use it in one of the bigger sizes, this is the best opportunity to take advantage of that 20% off and get the smaller size, especially with like the whites. I have Ideal White in this size, which is great because it's not a color I use a lot, but just enough to want the baby jar. And it is such a cute little baby jar. I can't get over how cute that size is. Hard gel is not soak off, no, but you can always use the Jimmy Gel is another good thing to use for that soak off option for your clients. So, little recap for today. Structure. You want to make sure you use tack. You want to make sure your nail is etched properly, so then that natural nail creates a Velcro with the gel you're putting on top, so then all those fibers stick together so you have the most optimal adhesion possible. You want to use your ideal brush. Mine is the number 6 Kolinsky brush because it has more of that smaller shape to it, and it can get into those nail cuticle nooks easier on my smaller nail bed. But otherwise, the Gel Polish Bling brush is also a phenomenal option. Also, if you're having trouble with using the Stripy brush to fill in your French, the black brush is also a phenomenal option because it is small, it is thin, it will gently disperse any of that extra color that you have on there, and it's just, it comes with a cap, and it's nice, and it's small, so love that. And also, I highly recommend everybody try the Smile Line brush. If you don't use it for French, I have had people use it to clean up cuticle areas, to make sure everything is nice and clean before they go in with curing their application and everything. So yeah, here is our fun look for today. So thank you all for hanging out with me. My name is Hope Jung, and I have been in the nail industry for about 12 years. It's actually 12 years on Wednesday, which is really cool. So please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Please take advantage of that 20% off discount code to stock up on all of your favorite products, and let me know if you try out today's design. And I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. We have Claire is coming on next. She is also going over Lexy line and some rainbow design that's actually super, super cute. I love it. So y'all have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Thank you.